Hello everyone. Hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of The Expanse Reaction. This is Red Live and my name is Matt. Hi. Hello, how is everyone doing? Uh so last time on The Expanse, what happened? Um so Abasarala and Nancy Gao are fighting it out, and Nancy Gao kind of won that debate that they had because Christian decided to go on the aggressive and then backfired on her, and Nancy Gao just said some cool shit. So she lost that, I suppose. And then Christian had to go on an emergency to fire on what appears to be the Sojourner, which is the ship that was supposedly destroyed and sold for scrap, but now it's here apparently. I had some theory about the TIE beam that was stolen because of the Gunny plotline, and that connects to the Marco Inaros faction, and that is gonna do some fuckery that is gonna affect Christian. Like that was a whole thing that I had going on, but whatever. So that's happening on that side of the story. Back to Ilus, we have the Rosie crew. Well, it was split into two, right? So on one side of the story, Naomi and Alex talked Lucia out of depression, basically. And on the other side, we have Holden and Amos dealing with what is essentially like a civil war on the Belter camp. It's not really a civil war because the Earth people with Mercury just kind of showed up out of nowhere, right? But they started just fucking killing each other. So they started just fighting it out. And sure. Also, something that I don't think I noticed is that I think that Mercury just sent those two guys to get attacked by the Belters and have them like taking hostages and taking their guns away. I feel like Mercury did that on purpose just to have the excuse. At this point, I'm at that point, right? But I don't think I noticed that when I watched previous episode. I didn't think about that more specifically. But when I was editing it, I was like, oh, that could make sense because otherwise, why are these two guys here? So whatever, right? But yeah, that's what I thought. But yeah, so tension is building up between those two groups, and Holden is kind of stuck in the middle of them. So Holden decided, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna tell everyone like the truth, like the exact truth of what the fuck is happening and what we're doing. So then they just went like, all right, hold on, everyone. All right, so I'm Jesus, and I hear the voice from my dead friend slash God, alien God, and it's telling me that some shit's happening. I think so. We should leave. And then everyone was like, we're not going to leave because one, this is our home. We have good resources here. And the other guy goes like, because we have the fucking legal contract that says that this is our land and we have some good minerals here. So it's like, well, God damn it. So that didn't work. And then at the end of the episode, we had the stinger where Alex he's just listening to music, and then he sits like a monitor, and there's some tectonic activity or whatever happening on the planet, and then we just have a shot of the planet, and there's just an explosion that happens, just like a giant like nuke explosion, but it seems to be like a giant eruption of some kind, because I suppose that is a place that they said that it was building up heat where the lightning ended. So there you go. Yeah, I think that is it that happened for this episode. I think we're ready to go on the next one. Oh, by the way, I asked people when is Expanse season 5 airing. And they've told me that it starts airing on December 16, I believe. So I'm recording this on October 15th, so 2 months from now. Expanse season 5 should start airing. And apparently the first 3 episodes are gonna come out instantly, and then the remainder of the episodes are gonna come out in a weekly basis. Okay. Okay, here's what I'm thinking, and I'm not entirely sure about what I'm gonna be doing yet, but this is what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking I'm gonna. So if the schedule goes the way I think it should go, so Saturday 17 would be Expanse episode 6, which is what we're doing right now. 24 would be 7, 31 would be 8, 7 would be 9, and 14 would be 10. And I think that's the finale for season 4. So that means that we're going to have the 21, 28, 5th, and 12th free. That is 4 weeks of what am I gonna do until season 5 comes out. This is what I'm thinking I'm gonna be doing. And I suppose I'm sorry, but this is what I think I'm gonna be doing. I think I'm gonna watch Dark season 3, which started airing while we were watching The Expanse. And some people have come out and commented on my videos being like, yo, are you gonna be watching Dark season 3? Some people have fucking tweeted at me being like, yo, Dark season 3, and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. I just don't have the time right now on the schedule. But what I'm thinking I'm gonna be doing is that as soon as season 4 ends for The Expanse, I'm gonna watch Dark season 3. And I went on Netflix and I checked it out, and it's only 8 episodes. So I think what we're gonna be doing is that we're gonna be watching Dark season 3 for 4 weeks, which is it's just gonna be free. There's not gonna be nothing else going on, and then we're gonna watch the remainder 4 episodes as The Expanse is airing, and then as soon as we're done with Dark season 3, which should only be 4 weeks from after season 5 of The Expanse starts airing, and then we're gonna go back to The Expanse season 5 when I'm done with Dark season 3, because I think it's only 8 episodes, right? I think it's just only 8 episodes. In fact, I'm gonna check it out right the fuck now because I want to make sure. Okay, so Netflix, Dark, episodes and info, season 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So yeah, it's only 8. So yeah, I think what we're gonna be doing, and this is not set in stone yet, but I think this is the way it's gonna be. So Expanse season 4 should end on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should end on the 14th of November for Patreon. For you guys, it should be the 21 on the public YouTube upload. But yes, on the 21, I should start Dark season 3 episode 1 on Patreon, and then it should go all the way to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up until January the 9th, I think, or the 2nd. I zoned out and I lost count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so yeah, January the 9th, 2021 is what Dark season 3 is gonna be for. January 16 for Patreon people, for YouTube people, but the 9th for Patreon people. And the week after that, so for the YouTube public, should be the 23rd of January, and for Patreon it should be the 16th. It will be The Expanse season 5. So I don't even think season 5 is gonna end airing by the time I'm starting it, right? So I think it should still be relevant. I think we will be fine. I think it will be fine if we do it that way. Because like I want to go back to Dark and see what the fuck is happening there, and people have requested it. So there is definitely an interest from that, and before we move too far away from that, because like we kind of already moved further away from Dark because it ended and people have kind of stopped talking about it a little bit, but I want to do it, so we're gonna be doing it. So I think that's what we're gonna be doing with the schedule coming up next. I should have probably told you guys this on the finale for this season. Fuck it, I'm just telling you right now. I think that's what I'm gonna be doing. The other alternative would I think would have been like Good Omens, that is only like 6 episodes, but I want to do Dark, and people have been waiting for Dark, so fuck it, we're doing Dark season 3 in the meantime of Expanse seasons coming out and overlapping a little bit, but then we're going back to The Expanse as soon as we're done with Dark, which is only like a month. It's only 4 weeks, so we're cool. Yeah, okay, that's enough of an intro. I just let everyone know what we're doing. So yeah, let's just watch the episode, man. So The Expanse season 4 episode 6. Let's go. I forgot to tell you guys, there might be some fuckery going on with the video footage for the episode, because YouTube keep blocking my videos. I'll explain further after the episode is over. Sorry, I forgot to mention. Okay, let's watch it.
There's a shockwave coming around the planet at the speed of sound, with a tsunami behind it.
Oh!
The shockwave will hit in 8 to 10 hours. with winds of around 200 kilometers per hour.
You're not gonna convince these people
Tsunami
to
will be
leave.
there roughly 10 hours after that.
That's gonna put like a third of the continent underwater. The settlement is gonna get wiped clean off the
Jesus.
map. I'll call you right back.
We're not gonna be able to convince these people. He's just gonna show everyone the footage.
You brought this on us. This is your fault.
Look, none of this is useful
We
right
almost died coming out here. Some did. This was our chance to make a home.
now. I fucking get it. Believe me, I wish none of this had happened. But the only thing we can do now is leave before more people die.
Then will you support our claim? Tell your friend, the Secretary General, that we have the right to be here. If you do that, publicly, and pledge to help our colony, then we'll agree to leave.
I can't speak for Avasarala or Earth. But I give you my word. I'll do everything I can.
Okay. Mochi doesn't like that. This sucks. I mean, there's literally nothing else we can do. The planet just blew up, but... And it is his fault too. He did start this shit. It was probably a ticking bomb anyway, but...
What are you doing up there?
She wants to go study at the university. Yeah, she's leaving.
Where are you going?
With the Bob, back tutoring. I just wanted to go to university.
Yeah.
Some things.
Yeah.
What your mother has done.
Oh yeah, she did kill like 20 people.
It won't be easy to hear.
Alright.
That would put
Wow.
us past it.
I like that I can see the shockwave. I like the fact that there's an explosion that just fucked the planet instantly. Like, that's how massive it was. Oh no, she's gonna be angry at her
Are you all
because she did kill like 20
All
people.
those people who died on that shuttle. All your talk about keeping their family together only this. And you're the one that ran away. At least I didn't kill anyone first.
Well, alright. She's gonna... Alright, she's already holding a knife to her throat again. Okay.
Tell me, what's going on?
Reactor's down.
Oh, is the planet fucking with like everything? Is the planet fucking with like every ship, every reactor? That means people are stranded down there. On a planet that is about to fucking disappear. Oh yeah, they just got this. They just got this shit. Alright, Christian's campaign is fucked, by the way. Huh? Oh, they pin it down on him. They had to pin it down on someone. It was him.
You gonna be ready to go?
Worried about me?
Only if I have to be.
Thanks for giving a shit.
He doesn't do a lot of that, so...
The light shuttles, and the Israel and the Barb use chemical rockets, which means they'll still work. They're small, but we can send them up and down in rotation. Evacuate a dozen at a time.
That's gonna be tight.
We'll make it.
Because all you would have to do to maintain orbit is speed up. But the Barb's thrusters were not designed for this kind of work, and
The drive is out. We can't speed up. So sooner or later, the Bob will fall.
Dorosi's batteries will last longer, but eventually...
We all will.
We'll need an orderly rotation.
I don't intend to have any of the bouters on my shuttle.
Yeah, he's not gonna help.
I am willing to help get them up safely and back down again, provided they dump all the illegally mined lithium on their ship.
My guy, Burn Gorman, he's a really good bad guy. He's a really good asshole. He did turn one of the shuttles into a bomb or whatever, I think. What's that? Alright. That was not intended.
Symmetry. Is there a problem with the shuttle?
We just lost contact with the chief.
It just disintegrated in midair.
Gone, sir.
Are we trapped in the planet?
All we're picking up are high energy particles in the vicinity.
What's going on with the moon?
Science team is on it. I think it might be melting.
There is a barrier around the planet that anything that touches disintegrates in it.
That man inside my head opened a door and then closed it again. We'll have to make our own way in.
We have mining charges. We blast it open.
Assuming that works, you still have to seal it behind us.
We'll figure it out.
We don't have a lot of time.
We'll figure it out fast.
Why, like, we don't have literally anything else we can do. The moon is melting, dude. Like, that is fucking crazy. I want to see it from orbit. I want to see the barrier from orbit. I want to see the moon slowly melting in orbit.
Before our missiles destroyed the Sojourner, a surveillance satellite on Luna detected a high-intensity laser from the vessel.
There's a tight beam comm laser?
Telemetry was being sent to the belt during the attack. To an unregistered OPA relay, perhaps?
Perhaps. We will let you know what we find.
Good. Next time we'll meet on the Tripoli so I can return the hospitality.
Okay, so you banged him? So that's what we're doing?
Told you it'd be worth it.
Okay, just getting paid for that ditto work. Are you two together? Isn't there like a 20 years age gap? At least. Yo, Miller, what up? We need you in here, buddy. Or are we literally just gonna blow them up and hopefully that will open them?
It's gonna be hard enough sealing the hole, but there's no way we're gonna be able to seal those.
Well, let's focus on getting in.
It's gonna take a few weeks minimum for a relief ship to get here, maybe months. The difference between us all starving to death and some of us surviving
Kill some belters.
comes down to them or us. It's us. Holden and your new boyfriend may have a problem with that harsh reality. Is it a problem for you?
If that's the case, I'll do what needs to be done.
She owes him a lot for some reason. But I don't know if she's gonna be able to pull the trigger when it comes down to it.
Okay, all I can.
Something's happening to her with the eye.
Good.
Second time that was being given attention to. This is the eye like a headache. Eye. So, okay, what makes her special? She was there with Holden and the crew after they had hit the ruins the first time, but she wasn't there. She wasn't there. She just arrived afterwards. Okay, she's scanning her eye. The fuck is that?
That's not good.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is. I mean, it didn't look right. Those green things didn't look right, but... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. That was a double oh shit. The first oh shit because we saw his disgusting burned body for the first time. And second because we're seeing him when he was proper and had a kid.
The log showed the transmission was encrypted with MCRN codes.
When we had him, Marcos mentioned Mars. He said it was no longer the Mars we used to fight.
What's the problem?
They changed the code.
I don't know. Let's get out of here.
Hang on.
No.
The hydraulics that operate this door run through the base of the terraforming tower.
So, okay, she's clever.
I'll go out, up and down the tower, cut the hydraulics, release the door, and let you all in. This won't be the hardest thing I've ever done.
That's true. Why did it do anything? A little hole. We can crawl in it. Okay.
What was that for?
Because what I'm about to do, before she turns, she commits fully to her mission.
We really need all this?
Yes, this is a biochemical assay deck, and that is a pharmaceutical printer. Trust me, we're going to need them both.
It's coming.
Jesus Christ.
Alright. Get down. Alright. Yeah, a couple people just got bodied.
I should be down there with you.
No.
It makes me feel better that you're not.
She would literally die if she had to deal with her body and the shockwave at the same time. Oh, that's the worst. In the middle of a catastrophe here and the kids just scream, "Mom, Dad."
On that ship.
He would know by now that there is a price on his head. And do you really believe he would be so careless as to expose himself like this?
Everyone makes mistakes eventually.
No, this has to be intended. This has to be a trap of some kind. The fact that she's going all these lengths to do this illegal shit, I feel like she's given up then. Denied. She can't get inside. And she's running out of air. Alright, cool.
There's a guy inside who's locked me out. He's calling for help. I'm out of air.
She's probably gonna be alive, just captured. They were all captured. Oh! They came for the rescue. They took them out. I thought they were just gonna ditch her.
was impressed.
if anything.
Same to you.
That was a proof of loyalty, what it was. Shit. Hold on, get in there. It's not working. It's stuck. I think Holden's gonna be the one to... Holden's gonna go out and try and manually... Oh shit. Okay. Using tools. Woo! Shit! Pull, 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 pull! That was a sweet move. Oh, god damn it! Well, at that point, I think the sheer force of the water should be able to, like, pull the rest of the way. Because it was already, like, mostly pull, mostly vertical. So if the water hits it, then it should, like, it should close it, right? But water floated it anyway, so I'm not sure. Okay, I completely forgot to mention at the beginning, but, like, so last week, YouTube fucked me in that it blocked, like, every video that I tried to upload. For Torchwood and the Expanse, and I had to like re-render and re-upload it in different ways to see how I could get around that, and eventually I did, but as a result there might be some like fuckery happening with like the highlight over here, right? There might be some stuff going on with the video, like some clutter or lighting or whatever, or the highlight could be shorter. I think in general they're gonna be shorter now, because I'm just gonna be making more aggressive cuts. Right? And The Expanse in particular is a show that has like a lot of little things that matter eventually. Fuck that shit. I'm just gonna make aggressive cuts because that's what we have to do in order to survive, okay? So I'm just letting y'all know right now. Okay. But alright, let's talk about the episode now. So, alright. A tsunami just hit us and fucked us. Okay. Okay, so let's go over the whole thing. So, making sure everything's working. Yeah, we're good. Going over the whole thing. So it starts and they inform Holden of the explosion eruption that happened. I want to know what that was about. I want to know what that looks like. I want them to like maybe not go over there, but at least like see it from like. I don't know. I guess they would have to go over there because we saw it from like space, but I want a better shot of it from space, I suppose. Like what happened there? What was that explosion? It's still like a giant hole where that happened or what, right? But okay, a giant explosion, eruption, whatever happened. I like that it was an explosion so fucking massive that it fucked the planet. Like, I like that. I like that concept because we don't really do that. Like, it's difficult for any piece of media to do that, to do like a planet-shattering event that just fucks everything, right? Unless it's like an apocalyptic movie, but those are usually pretty bad. All right, that was like the trend in the early 2000s when we had CGI, and it was like, look at what we can do, we can blow shit up, and it's like okay, but I like the concept of something just fucking the planet just entirely, right? Because we usually don't do that because we need the planet in order to have a story, right? But in this case, we have a completely empty planet, mostly empty. We have like a settlement. It's just like a small group of like a couple hundred people, and it's like, okay, that's all we have. We can fuck the planet, and then we can have a story about them struggling to survive, and they do so, right? We can do that, and I like that they went that direction, because I like just seeing the way a planet would get fucked, which is, so this random alien whatever explosion happened, and it was so massive you could see it from space, and it was just giant, right? What happens is that immediately there's a shockwave that is just traveling at the speed of sound across the planet from when it happened, right? It was so massive that there is a shockwave that will travel and engulf the whole planet, just all around it, right? And I'm assuming that it lost like a lot of power by the time it got to them. So that's how massive the explosion it was, right? Because I would assume that the laws of physics means that like that shockwave was like massive when it at the point it happened, and then it loses power the further it travels across the planet. But the fact that it traveled like halfway through the planet and it still like caused like this like giant just thing that just made everything fall over and break and explode. And like it actually killed people. Like that's how massive the explosion was on the other side of the planet, right? I like that. And I like that it was like, okay, so the shockwave's gonna come. Okay, there's gonna be an earthquake, then there's gonna be a shockwave like 6 hours later, and then there's gonna be the tsunami that's gonna hit everything. What is the story of tsunamis? Who first coined the name tsunami? It has to have been the Japanese. Yes. What does it mean? Nami is wave. What is tsu? The term tsunami is borrowed from the Japanese tsunami, meaning... The term tsunami is borrowed from the Japanese tsunami. Thank you, Wikipedia. That's great. Meaning harbor wave. For the plural, one either can follow ordinary English practice with an S or use an invariable plural as in the Japanese. Some English speakers altered the word initially to its by dropping the T, since English does not natively permit TS at the beginning of words. I don't give a shit. You can pronounce it, dude. Alright, sure. Of course it was the Japanese who coined this term. Man, living in Japan was... I mean, it's okay, but it sucks in some other aspects. Getting hit by tsunamis like every 10 years must suck, dude. It really would. It's difficult for me to relate to that because I live in a heavily landlocked province, I suppose. Argentina does have access to water, to the sea, but the place I live is very landlocked, and it's also very warm, right? So I think I've seen the sea once or twice in my life, right? In 24 years, it's only once or twice. I haven't seen large bodies of water ever. There's only one river over here, and it's not good. It's a shitty, dirty ass river, and it's not very big. But yeah, okay, I went on a huge tangent. So back to the Expanse. Sorry, I just had a sudden what does a tsunami mean? Okay, so it starts with Holden getting that information. And then he goes all right, everyone, listen. So the planet is about to get fucked. We gotta get the fuck out of here. And then they all confirm with their own sources, yes, this is true, fuck. And I like the old lady Belter stance on this, which was she went to Holden and said you did this, which is true. And she was you did this, James Holden. And he was yes, I wish this wouldn't have happened, but it did, and now we have to deal with it. So the only thing we can do is to just do our best to try and save as many people as possible, right? To just preserve as many lives as we can. And I like that she was yes, I like that she was that's true, and I like that she could tell that Holden was a good person in that moment. Because, she doesn't know any of these people. And even before that, I think she judged Holden. She was I don't know if you're using Holden, if you're using Marshall, Marshall is using you. She was she is in her own group. She's on the Belter group. And she doesn't know what any of this is doing. They all just came and shit is happening. And it's what the fuck are you doing in New York, right? So I like that at that moment, I think that she could tell that Holden was a good person. Because Holden was I really didn't want this to happen. I wish it hadn't. Listen, whether or not it's my fault, which it very well might be, I really wish it hadn't been. I really wish this hadn't happened. But that's besides the point. The point right now is that we need to figure out what we're going to do. And what we need to do is to just save as many people as possible. So let's try and figure a plan to devise that, right? And I like that she was yes. I like that she wasn't upset at him to the point that she said fuck you, we're not doing what you want. She was he's right. We need to save as many people as we can. And at that moment she was Holden, it seems to be a good person. That other guy, fuck that other guy. Mercury, fuck him. This guy, he seems to be cool. So, okay. And then she asked James Holden, listen, like, shit's happening, shit's bad, and we gotta leave the planet, which was essentially our home that we built. We fucking bled and died to make this our home, and now the planet blew up, and now we gotta leave. So, for the sake of saving as many people as possible, we're gonna leave. We're gonna try to evacuate because we don't want to die, right? But Holden, the planet was kind of fucked, so I'm gonna need you to actually like talk on behalf of us, to be like, we need a new home, or like we need claim to. I think it was claim to the planet, wasn't it? Maybe. Well, because the planet will still be like habitable after this is over? They said like about a third of it would be submerged. Does that mean a third of the planet total, or like a third of what was land is now going to be water as well? That's a good question. How much of Ilus was water? I don't remember. Was there water in Ilus? I think there was, yeah. They did say that there were, like, the place where the eruption happened was islands, so in order for them to be islands, there would have to have been water around them. Okay, whatever. So, will Ilus still be habitable after this is over? I'm not sure what their conversation was in that aspect. I'm not sure if what she wanted was for Holden to just go on talk and say like, okay, I endorse these people, they're cool, get them a new home, or he's gonna say, these people are cool, we should give them this planet back after we're out, right? Because like I think the Builder said before that like the reason why they don't want to leave the planet ever is because they're never gonna be allowed to come back. Because they didn't come to this planet on like legal terms, which is where the whole mortuary thing comes in. Is that mortuary is like, these people are squatters, right? Like we have the like legal papers that say that we can come here and mine the planet, right? And then this about to show up. They randomly show up and populate the planet. It's like, what the fuck are these squatters doing in my fucking business, right? That is the merge review. So, I suppose that like the planet will still be habitable after this happens. We just gotta leave in order not to die when the catastrophe hits. But after the fact, we can come back because there will still be planet left, and there will still be like lithium or whatever the mineral was deposit around. So I suppose that what she wants is for Holden to have a say where he goes like, listen, they're cool, we should get them their home back because fuck that other guy, right? Something like that. And I like Holden's response, which was like, I can't speak for Christian Basarala or the UN or anyone, but I can give you my word that I will do everything I can, which is as honest as it gets. It's just like, I don't know any about this political bullshit here that's gonna happen as a result. But what I can tell you is that I will talk to as many people as I can in order to be like, hey, let them get in, right? I will do at least that. And I like that she could tell that he was honest, because he was. And he was like, okay, cool. And then they started working together. And I like that they were working together. I like seeing all this like people working together. They're not allies because Mercury exists, but I like that they were like working together, right? Like the UN and the Rosie people, well, it was just Holden and Amos, and the Belters, they were all just like, okay, we gotta survive because we're about to get fucked up by a tsunami in a couple hours, so work together, right? And I like, so the plan went through several iterations. It went for like, how many iterations? Like 3 or 4. So the plan was initially, okay, everyone's just gonna come into... Oh yeah, we have stuff to talk about the barrier around the planet or whatever. So, okay, the plan originally was supposed to be, we're just gonna come in with our ships and swoop you right in, and we're about to leave. Cool. The other thing that we're gonna do, well, the thing that happened is that, like, it's like, okay, ships are gonna come to pick us up. They can't. The reactors don't work anymore. Why? I don't know. So, like, the planet caused something that made all reactors on every ship on orbit just stop functioning, right? So, like, the fusion drive or whatever, Epstein drive, or whatever the shit they use, does not work anymore. So, that applies to every ship, and I like that they talk about it, and they were like, if it doesn't stop working again in a determined amount of time, the ships are just gonna fall and fucking die, right? Because like, I suppose it would be like, I think they mentioned it. I didn't. My brain don't work good, but I think that what it was is that it was essentially the gravitational pull of the planet was just gonna pull everything to it, right? And the reason why it doesn't do so normally is because the ship just has power in order to like push against it, so we can stay in orbit. But now there's nothing to do that, and the Rosie has more battery, so it will last longer. But every ship eventually will just run out of power, and it will just like fall. Okay, sure. So there you go. That is a problem. That is like a long-term problem. That is a problem that I feel is going to get fixed before it becomes a real problem. But that's the reason why we can't come and pick everyone up on Islas. Shit. So then, we have the idea of like, okay, send in the small like rocket shuttles or whatever that doesn't use that drive, so that will be able to move people in and out of orbit. And it's like, okay, cool, we're gonna do that. And Murtry, of course, is an asshole about it. Murtry is like, oh. And Murtry, of course, is an asshole about it. Murtry is like, okay, we'll do that, but I want something in return. I want them to give me all their minerals that they illegally mined from my planet. It's like, oh my god, dude. So Holden, and Holden was like, I'll see what it can do. It was like he reluctantly accepted to do it because there's no other choice. And Murtry was like pleased with himself. And then they send in the shuttle. The shuttle gets disintegrated. And I like that I saw it. It just instantly got disintegrated. And then they looked at the moon, and the moon started to get disintegrated too. So they didn't elaborate further on this, and I'm sure they're going to do it next episode or whenever, right? Right now, it was more about the flood, the tsunami, the shockwave, all that shit. But I think that what it is that this is the planet. There is a barrier around the planet. It's invisible. It's an invisible barrier around the planet, and anything that touches it instantly gets disintegrated. Instantly. So, because, and like, the shuttle that they sent, it progressively got disintegrated the further it got, which means that I think it's essentially a barrier that when you pass the threshold, you start getting disintegrated on this side. So it's like, right? It starts disappearing as you go through it. And the moon started hitting it, either because the moon got closer or because the barrier grew bigger and started getting disintegrated as well. And that's what you saw. It was the moon, so it was white, but at the center there was a little red dot, and it's because, yeah, the moon is a sphere, right? It's a sphere, and the tip of it started passing the barrier, right? Like this. And so from the front, it only looks at this part was the red part, right? So that is the part that started getting disintegrated. And I'm not sure that is whether or not because the moon moved or because the barrier around the planet grew bigger after the shuttle hit it. Also, I'm assuming that has to do something with the ships and their fusion drives dying. We can only hope it doesn't grow bigger and bigger and bigger, because that will eventually hit all ships on orbit, and they will just instantly get disintegrated, right? I like how fucked this planet is. It's like nothing makes sense in it. It's nice. It's great. I love it. So, okay. That is super interesting to me. I want to see where that goes. I want to see what happens with that. So I'm hoping next episode elaborates further on that. Okay. We touched two bloodlines here. The first one is Gunny. Oh, we did have one scene with Avasara. Like one. which is they saw the transmission that the Welter woman sent yesterday, which was saying like, oh yeah, we're getting murder over here. All right, like that's it. And then the planet went silent because they can't transmit anymore, I think. And then there you go. Awesome. So that just Avasarala's campaign is just dead. Just overnight, just got fucked up. Then we had the Gunny plotline. Gunny's just helping these people out. And this is very interesting to me. Because I thought that Gunny was gonna sabotage them. And she still might. She still might eventually. But for the time being, she's actually putting in the work. She's actually being like, no, let's do it this way. Let's do it like this. She's actually functioning. Because, like, here's the thing. Is that Gunny is a very capable person. And she's a very... What is the word I'm looking for? Like, I want to say by the rules, but she's doing illegal shit. But you can... But, like... She's a lawful character, I would say, but less than sticking to like the rules of society. Right now, she's more sticking to a code, which is like a code of honor and a code of duty. That's it. And like Gunny has her sense of duty, and right now her sense of duty is not tied to Mars and it's not tied to the military or whatever. It's tied to this group of fucking people that are just doing illegal shit. And so she does whatever she has to do because that is her duty. So we have here, she neutralizes a random guy that was coming in here to attack the guy making the deal, right? She does that and it's like, okay, cool. Then she calls the soldier dude that she met like 2 times and she bangs him. Cool. I'm assuming that is just like, I need something in my life right now. So I'm just going to bang this dude. So she does that. Cool. Moving on. Then they have this deal with this random guy. And this like, okay, we got to steal this shit from this facility or whatever. Okay. They go in. The security numbers are changed. Okay. What do we do? And they're about to call it quits. And then Gunny sees that the door is working with like hydraulics or some shit. And she's like, okay, if we disable the hydraulics, if I go over there and do that shit, then the door should open. So I'm just going to go and do that. She goes and does that. She puts on the suit and they go like, there's not enough air in here. And she's like, I'll be fine. I've been in like more deadlier pinches or whatever, which is true. She fought a Caliban. Oh, I got it. It's still kind of alive. Sorry, I killed a bug with my... Yeah, there it is. I'm gonna go like clean my hands. This is bad. I don't like having my hands dirty. So she is like loyal to what she feels she has to do. So at this moment she's like, all right, I got nothing else going on in my life. This is kind of the thing that I have to do. I have to do it right. So she goes 110%. Right? She goes and it's like, okay, so I have to do this shit. I have to risk my life. Okay, I'll do it. Fine. You know, this is just the way it is. This is how it be in this bitch of an earth. This is what I do now. So she just goes and does it. She just goes and does it. And she risks her life and she runs out of air. And I like that as she's passing out. So she sees a guard that has locked her up. And the guard is like, okay. Okay, so she sees it and she's like, okay, so... communications, and she's like, okay, there's a guard, he saw me, he locked me out, you guys haven't found out, I'm running out of air, and then she passes out, right? Then she wakes up, they came to her rescue. I thought they got all caught, or I thought they were gonna ditch her, but no, they just saved her. They just took over, they just took all the guards, and they just saved her ass. And then she wakes up, and it's like, hey, hero of the hour, what's up? And it's like, that is good because she just gained their trust, like, a lot. Because Gunny is still, like, someone that kind of doesn't belong, I feel like. But she doing that makes them go like, okay, you're someone that cares about doing your job and doing it right. So you know what? You have my respect. Okay, you're gonna be a good soldier for us, right? Because that's Gunny. She's a good soldier. She's someone that she's gonna do what needs to be done. She's just gonna find some way to do it, and she's super capable and she's the best, right? I still feel like, if anything, I feel like this was set up so then she gains their trust, so then she might backstab them later, right? She can turn on them. Because the thing is that, like, they're doing illegal shit. They're doing bad shit. So I feel like Gunny eventually, she's gonna be like, she's gonna find a chance where she can, like, snitch on them or do something that is gonna make them, make their whole operation just fall. And she's gonna help for that cause. Because she's kind of trapped in there right now. But if she can find a way for this to just be over, she'll do it. And the fact that she's now I'm assuming she's now going to be trusted because she just did this thing right here. That opens possibilities for this to happen in the future, where she's going to be in a situation where they put the trust in her and she's like, oh, now it's my chance to actually inflict some damage here. So that's what I'm thinking it's going to go. But I also find it very interesting for Gunny's character to be helping out, like, willingly. Like, because she could have just said, like, oh, that shit doesn't work. Okay, sure, let's call it quits. But no, she actually saw that it, like, she actually saw a possibility to open that door, and she was like, okay, we can do it this way. I can do it. Don't worry about it. I can do it. I can go over there and do it real quick. And she went and did it, and she almost died because of it. Like, I don't think she was gonna die. She was just gonna pass out, and they were gonna capture her, which I believe is what they did, and then they rescued her. But, like, still, she's risking it all for this team. And she came up with the idea and everything. So she's like, she's actually putting 100%. She's doing great here. So there you go. I think she's just going to have the trust now. Whether or not these people are people that are trustworthy in turn, I don't think they are. So I think there's always the possibility of them just turning on her for whatever reason, even though she's, like, super devout. But still, I think this sets up nicely, so they're gonna trust her in the future, and she's gonna have an opportunity to help this whole operation just die in the future as well. Okay, but I think it's very telling of Gunny's character because she's definitely lawful, but it's like, it's not lawful in the sense of law, but it's lawful in the sense of, like, she has a duty and a code, and she follows that shit. Her code is her duty, almost. What she considers something that needs to be done, she just does it. Alright. The other plotline was the Belter plotline with Ashford and Drummer. So, that was short. It was just like, Marco Inaros, fuck this. Okay, we got confirmation. So, the Sojourner had the relay communicator, whatever, from Mars that Gunny helped those people stole, which means that those OPA faction people were Marco Inaros' people. So I was right on that whole thing. So that is connected in the exact same way I thought it was gonna be. However, the Sojourners sent a communication, an encrypted communication or whatever, to a ship called the Pizzola. That's the name. I want some pizza now. Dude, I would kill for some pizza right now. Holy shit. Go and give me like $5 on my Patreon right now so I can eat a pizza. Anyway. So, yeah, like, they sent something there. We don't know what it is. It was encrypted. But that whole plotline, that linked together finally in the exact same way I thought it was going to be. So I just don't know the details, but that linked together, that's cool. So now, the OPA is being kept on a tight leash by the UN forces because they go like, you couldn't do your job properly or you're fucking us over. Either or, we have to be here now in order to make sure this doesn't happen again. So they do that. And then they go like, okay, we gotta solve this Marco Now situation because otherwise otherwise the UN are just gonna have their foot on our neck the entire way, right? They're just gonna take over, and we don't want that. So we have to solve this Marco Naros thing. So they see like a camera footage from the episodes, and Marco Naros isn't there, and they go like, got him. I think he let himself be seen on purpose, and also the fact that the ship hasn't hit any station. I think it's all a trap. I think it's a trap in some way. I'm not sure what the play is, but I'm sure there is a play by Marco Naros, because he's a smart dude. I hate his guts, and he has like a 50 passive charisma. But I think he's smart, and I think he did this on purpose, because they even brought attention to it. I think Ashford was the one that said he's smart. He wouldn't let himself be seen on purpose, unless it was on purpose. And Drummer was like, everyone makes mistakes sometimes, and I'm like, no, I think it was on purpose actually. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But yeah, that's where that bloodline is. Then anything else? Aside from like the main shit. Oh yeah, the scientist woman. Something is going on with her, and I'm glad I noticed it like immediately, like at the beginning of the episode, because she did it like once, and it was like a throwaway thing. But then I thought about it, and I was like, we spent like 5 minutes, we spent like 5 extra seconds of the episode on showing that. I don't see a reason why that should have been there. So I was like, okay, that might be something. And then she did it like 2 more times, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? So she did a scan on her eye, which was seen blurry, and she saw some green shit in it. We don't know what that is, but something's going on with her. Okay, I just brought attention to that because I don't know what it is. It's some alien bullshit caused by the promolecule / planet, and there you go. But I'm not sure exactly what that is gonna be. Okay. Oh, we saw like a scene with Ashford, and okay, so Ashford without his shirt on, and he's burned. Like his entire like right side, like this entire thing is just burned, and it looks awful. It looks awful. So I saw that, and I was like, oh shit. And then they showed me he's watching footage of him singing to his baby child, and he looks like so much more proper. Like his hair is like more well kept, and he's not burned, and he has a baby, and he's happy. And I'm just like, oh shit, what happened here? And they didn't show exactly what happened. That was just a happy memory from the past. But it's like, oh man, there was something that happened in the middle of this too, and I feel bad for this guy. But yeah, I like Ashford. I like Ashford a lot. Okay, back to the Illu shit. So the shockwave is coming, and then the tsunami is coming. What are we doing? The plan A failed because there's no reactors. The plan B failed because there's a barrier that is forcing it so nothing can come into the planet, maybe even come out of the planet. So the third plan that we devised is, let's go to the ruins and find shelter there, because those rooms seem to be sturdy enough to withstand the tsunami. So let's go over there and see if that is enough, because we're out of options. And they go like, and I like that they go like, but the doors in that ruins are closed, nobody can get in. And Holden goes like, yeah, the man in my head opened them up and closed them off again, but they were open for a bit. So fuck it, let's go over there and see what's up. And I like that everyone said like, okay, like everyone just, no one questioned Miller again. They were like, okay, it's that or death by tsunami. Sure, let's see what's up. We don't have any other options because that shit, the moon is melting. So let's just go over there and see what we can do. Like, nobody questioned the Miller plan. They were like, okay, we're out of options, so let's listen to the man in your head. Why not? That's fun. So then we have the Murcher moment, where Murcher just goes and walks up to like the woman, the second in command woman that is fucking Amos. They have a thing, by the way. They have definitely a thing going on, because there is a moment when Amos talks to her. There's a couple moments where Amos talks to her and goes like, "You okay?" or like, "Can I help you?" or whatever, and it displays clear concern. And I like that in this episode she was like, "Thank you for giving a shit," right? Because I bet this is a person that doesn't have a lot of people give a shit about her, or has in the past. Because I feel like we're gonna develop her past at some point, because she hinted at it. She was like, I owe a lot to Murtry, like he saved me or something like that. So she's super loyal to him, right? But the fact that Amos cares now that is something that is getting to her, right? And okay, I don't even know her name. I should. Okay, Patreon people, let me know what the name of that second in command to Mercury woman that is fucking Amos name is. So let me know that much. I don't know what her name is. The only one of the new people's names that I know is Mercury and Lucia, and I think that's it. Lily, David, I don't know if it matters. Nancy Gao. That's it. I think that's it. Okay, so anyway, moving on. What do I wanted to say? Oh yeah, Merchant just goes like, "Yo, kill those bolters." He just goes to the girl and goes like, "All right, so I'm gonna need you to kill bolters for me because we don't know how long we're gonna be stranded down there, and there's only a limited amount of supplies. They could come in every couple weeks or months or whatever. So survival is gonna be of the essence, and there's a lot of mouths to feed. There's more specifically a lot of belter mouths to feed, and if it comes down to them or us, it's us. So go and kill them out, and don't tell anyone because I get a feeling Holden and Amos are not gonna like it." So she goes like, "Okay, I'll do it," because she's loyal to him for whatever reason, right? So she just goes, "Okay, I'll do it." So is she gonna do it? She might kill like one or two people, and then she's like regrets it, or she might not. She might just doubt last second and not be able to pull the trigger because she's like, "I'm a good person," not like Mercury, a psychopath, right? So she might not do it. She could do it. We'll see where that goes. But yeah, it could be literally anything. But that is just like fuck. Like Mercury just continues to one up himself because he tried to like blackmail them into survival and getting minerals for it. And then he's like, "Fuck it, just kill them because we need to survive and we matter more than they do." So kill them off. Mercury's such a piece of shit. Like, Mercury's such an interesting character because it's like, I find fun to have a character that is antagonistic but also not, because he's also like helping here, because it's like, okay, there's the real antagonist is the tsunami coming to kill us all, so he's helping in order to survive for that, because of course he's gonna. But then he goes to the side and goes like, "We should kill like all those belters because they don't matter more than we do, and we need the food, so fuck them," right? And I like that. He's such a character that just, he's hanging out, and we all know he's a piece of shit, and we all know that he's killed people, but we just don't kill him because we are not. Like, nobody in the show has reduced to Mercury's level yet. Nobody has gone, like, plain judge, jury, and executioner, which is what he's doing. Because if there was any character like Mercury on the Belter side, or even in the fucking crew, the closest thing would be Amos. But, like, if there was anyone like Mercury on any other side, Mercury would be dead. Because they would go, like, Mercury's playing Judge, Jury, and Executioner. Okay, I get to play Judge, Jury, and Executioner on Mercury, and he deserves it, so fuck it, he does. Right? Amos is the closest thing, but the thing is that Amos kind of follows orders. So, like, when they said, like, "Alright, we gotta watch out for Mercury," I like Amos went, like, "You want me to kill that guy for you?" And it's like, "No, don't kill him." It's like, okay. So, because Holden and Naomi exist, Mercury is alive. Otherwise, Amos would have killed him. And the Belters are, I guess the Belters don't have enough guts to do it. Well, they tried to do it, right? They tried to do it and they got assassinated for it, I suppose. The Lucia, not really the Lucia group, but the group of people that blew up the thing with Lucia, they got assassinated for it. So, yeah, I suppose that's how that's going. But, like, dude, like, I like this character. I like Mercury as a character, and I like Burn Gorman. Yeah, that's his name. I like the way he plays it. I think he plays a really good asshole character. Dude, he's been like on fire lately because I'm watching Torchwood at the same time as The Expanse, and he's been on fire on Torchwood. By the way, he's been doing great. So shout outs to Burn Gorman for doing great, right? Okay, so anything else? Oh yeah. So we make it to the temple. We blow up a hole in the temple. There was a kid that Holden found that didn't find his parents. I don't know if we found them or not. We didn't solve that at all. But okay. So we go back to the ruins. In the ruins, we are making our way in. And then when we have to close the hole, there's not enough leverage. So then Holden goes out and puts and just starts applying force in order to lift it. And then last second, as the tsunami is hitting, as the giant fucking crashing waves are hitting, he lifts it up and throws his body, just fucking tactical dives into the gate and slides into the hole and just barely just hangs onto like the equipment in order to climb down, and just as water is rushing by, and he's like, ugh. But I like that. That was a sweet dexterity roll. That was a sweet dexterity roll. Just like, I'm gonna try to force this thing, help out, and then I'm gonna do it last second, and then I'm gonna dive in there as the water comes in, and just gonna slide into the hole. And he did it. And he held on to the equipment, and he didn't fall head first, because that would have been bad. That would have been quite the fall. And he hung up in there as the water comes in, and then I assume they closed the door. I assume they should have closed the door. They didn't close it this episode, like water was still rushing by, but I feel like they would be able to. I feel like the water should have closed the door, right? Because at that point it was like almost vertical, and if the water comes in, well, I suppose the water comes like this, so some water would be rushing in. But most of the water comes from this side in general, so it would push the door, so it would be closed, right? The sheer force of the water. Whatever. I think I'm getting hung up on details that don't matter. But I like that. I like that final tactical roll. That was cool. But yeah, I think that was it for this episode. I talked more than I thought I did. There was a 43 minutes fucking discussion, so I didn't think it was that long. But okay. Okay, that was it for this episode of the Expanse reaction. See you next week, guys. Alright, everyone, thank you so much for watching this reaction to the Expanse. If you would like to see next one, should already be up on Patreon, as well as full length. Check first though, because you never know, YouTube blocks my shit. Check out links in the description for that, everything else, and I'll see you next time, okay? Take care, everyone. Bye.